The last school bell rang, echoing through the empty hallways of Westville Elementary. Most children ran outside, laughing, chasing the fading sun. But one stayed behind, a small black girl named Zuri, only 12 years old with big brown eyes and a quiet spirit. While others carried backpacks filled with books, Zuri carried a bucket, a mop, and a rag. Her classmates never knew why she stayed late every day. They thought she was strange, maybe even poor. Only the janitor, Mr. Benson, knew her truth. Her mother worked 2 jobs and couldn't afford after-school help. So Zuri stayed behind to help clean the classrooms, earning a few dollars to bring home. The air smelled of chalk dust and disinfectant as Zuri wiped desks one by one. Her small hands moved gently over carved initials and pencil marks, the silent proof that children had been there. Outside, the sky darkened, painting the windows in violet shades. Sometimes she'd hum little tunes her mom used to sing, songs about faith, light, and hope. She wasn't scared of being alone. The quiet felt like her friend. That evening, she finished cleaning room 12, the science lab, and turned off the lights. As she walked down the corridor, her reflection followed her in the windows. The halls were long and empty, and her footsteps echoed softly. She reached the main door, stepped out into the cool night air, and adjusted the strap of her worn-out backpack. The streetlights flickered as she began her walk home, but something felt off. The wind rustled through the trees, and she heard footsteps, slow, steady, and close behind her. Zuri turned. The street was empty. She quickened her pace, clutching her bag tighter. Then, in the reflection of a store window, she saw him, a tall man in a brown coat, walking on the opposite side of the street. His face was shadowed, his hands buried in his pockets. Fear clawed up her spine. She walked faster. The man did too. Her heart pounded as she turned into a side street that led to her building. She glanced back again. He was still there. Her hand shook as she reached the gate. The man stopped at the corner, watching her silently. Zuri ran upstairs, slammed the door, and locked it. Through the cracked curtain, she saw him still standing across the street, just watching. That night she couldn't sleep. Every sound outside made her jump. Her mother came home past midnight, exhausted. Zuri didn't tell her. She didn't want to add one more worry to her already tired heart. But in her chest, one question kept burning. Who was that man, and why was he following her? The next day, Zuri went to school pretending everything was normal. But every time she passed a window, she found herself looking for a brown coat. When classes ended, she waited for everyone to leave, then quietly began her cleaning routine. She scrubbed the chalkboard, mopped the floor, and picked up candy wrappers. The janitor noticed her silence. "You okay, kid?" Mr. Benson asked. She nodded, forcing a smile. Just tired. By the time she finished, the sun had already set. The corridors were empty again. Just her, the sound of her mop, and the hum of old fluorescent lights. As she stepped outside, she felt it again. That same weight in the air, that same rhythm of footsteps behind her. She turned quickly. Nothing. Maybe I'm imagining things, she whispered to herself. But halfway down the street, she saw a shadow stretch across the sidewalk. Tall, familiar. Her breath caught in her throat. She started to run. The footsteps behind her quickened. Her chest ached. Tears stung her eyes. She turned the corner toward her apartment. But this time the man called out, a deep, rough voice. "Wait, please!" Zuri froze. She turned slowly. The man stepped into the light. He was older, gray hair, tired eyes, holding something in his hands. "I didn't mean to scare you," he said softly. "I've been trying to give you this." He held out a photo frame, cracked glass, faded picture of a young girl who looked just like Zuri. Zuri stepped back. "Who are you?" "My name's David," he said. "I used to work at this school years ago. That girl in the picture, she was my daughter. She died in an accident. You look exactly like her." Zuri's eyes widened. The fear in her heart slowly turned into confusion and sympathy. David's voice broke. "I saw you cleaning those rooms, staying late like she used to. I thought, maybe I was seeing her again. I shouldn't have followed you. I'm sorry, truly." Zuri didn't know what to say. She looked at the photo, a girl smiling with the same dimple, the same big eyes. Something inside her softened. "You scared me," she whispered. "I know," he said. I'll never do that again. He turned to leave, but before he did, he placed the photo frame gently on the ground near her. Keep it, if you want. Maybe it'll remind you that someone up there is proud of you. Zuri watched him disappear down the street. The night didn't feel as heavy anymore. She picked up the frame. The girl's smile looked warm, kind, and somehow it felt like a message. Days passed. Zuri kept cleaning, but now something had changed inside her. Every evening when she packed her mop and bucket, she glanced at that photo in her bag. It reminded her that even pain could carry stories, and sometimes strangers weren't enemies, just broken souls looking for pieces of their past. One day, as she cleaned the principal's office, she found a small donation, box for the evening worker fund. It was meant to help students who stayed after school. She'd never dared to put her name down, but that day she did. 2 weeks later, the principal called her in. "Zuri, someone made a big anonymous donation in your name," he said. "You'll receive a scholarship next semester, full tuition." Zuri's heart raced. She blinked back tears. "Who?" The principal smiled gently. "They didn't leave a name. Just a note." He handed her the folded paper. It said, "For the girl who reminded me what light looks like, DW." Zuri pressed the note to her chest, tears running down her face. That night, she walked home under the streetlights. The same path, the same quiet, but this time no fear followed her. When she reached her door, she looked up at the stars. "Thank you," she whispered. Inside, she placed the photo on her study desk beside her notebook, her new hope. She smiled, because sometimes the strangers who scare us the most are the ones who help us find the courage we've been missing all along. Would you like me to write now the text to video? Prompts, 3 cinematic prompts. For this story's 3 sections, like before, they'll make it ready for Runway, Pika, Kyber.